Royal Otis doing their best Tame Impala impersonation. That's called Foam, and it's on Birmingham Mountain Radio, 107.3 FM Birmingham, bhammountainradio.com. Pixies before that, Dig for Fire, and we heard from Nirvana, Dumb. It's the Morning Blend with Reg and Will coming to you from the Cool Ray of Alabama studio, and we're ready to start the second half of the show.
Yep, that's right. And this hour is brought to you by Lakeshore Foundation, of course, internationally renowned. We know that, and we hope you guys all know that. If you don't, you'll have a chance to go check it out, and we suggest you do. They're going to be celebrating the start of the 2024 Olympic and Paralympic Games, and our Paralympic athletes are going to be at the Celebration of Champions taking place on Friday, July 26th. So go find yourself transported to the streets of Paris at Lakeshore and watch the opening ceremonies of the games. Plus, you can help send off the USA wheelchair rugby team before they travel to Paris to compete for gold. So to learn more and to purchase tickets, go to lakeshore.org. Time now for your morning quickies, brought to you by WorkPlay, of course, workplay.com. Sports, and there's no better place to check out the highest in the quality of sports than up at the Lakeshore Foundation. Jen Allred and Chris Thomason join us now from Lakeshore Foundation. Great to have you both here.
Good morning.
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 Welcome. Morning. It's great to be here.
Yeah, do you guys, is there some tennis happening up at the Lakeshore Foundation ever?
We do. Tennis has been a part of our roots for a long time, and we've got a kind of a resurgence of tennis over the last year. So we've got about 18 people playing on a regular basis.
I remember there was a big tournament back in the day. Big tennis was like you said, it was a part of the roots because in the early days, I feel like there was like national tournaments that were held.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a world challenge have a meeting actually later next week to talk about kind of reviving that opportunity.
Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, we talk about how the Lakeshore Foundation, is widely known, but I think a lot of times people don't know how widely known. But it's one of those things, like when I've traveled around the country and say, yeah, I'm from Birmingham, a lot of times I get, Lakeshore Foundation or Barber Motorsports Park. Like those are the two that usually people from other areas are like, oh my gosh, yeah, like it is the hub. And it really is. Lakeshore Foundation is one of the top training facilities in the world.
It is. We're incredibly proud that we, on a local basis, we have more than 11,000 visits a month by individuals who come and participate in our programs. But nationally and globally, we're constantly bringing in teams that are training and competing either on our property or getting ready for big competitions like the Paralympic Games.
And there's some opportunities for people here that live in the community to kind of get involved and come check out the Lakeshore Foundation, right, Chris?
Sure. We've got a celebration of champions coming up on the 26th of this month. We'll transform our field house, which is a massive 3-court gymnasium, into a Paris street with a cafe. We'll have wonderful French wine and French food. We'll have our USA wheelchair rugby team there as we prepare them to send them off to the Paralympics in Paris. It should be an extremely exciting event.
Yeah, and it's a great way, too, for people to support the Lakeshore Foundation as well, to come and have the experience, of course, and get to meet the athletes, but also kind of to give back and support.
Yes, we can. We've got wonderful opportunities for folks to support us. You can go to lakeshore.org and click on the Paris-like logo. You'll see a logo with an Eiffel Tower and adapted athletes on it. Click on that and it'll tell you all about it. But like I said, it is on July the 26th at 6:30 p.m. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, it actually starts for you at 5:30 p.m. with a meet and greet of our athletes.
Nice. So if it's, say somebody can't maybe make the event, the Celebration of Champions, is there other times that people can volunteer and kind of get involved? How does that work, Jen?
Yeah, so, we couldn't exist without volunteers who are generous and giving of their time and talent to help us put together our programs. So lots of opportunity. If you go to lakeshore.org and click on the career and volunteer mark, there are a myriad of opportunities to get involved.
Now, we talked about basketball, we've talked about tennis, and we talked about rugby. Some of the other sports that you guys work with, a lot of track and field, swimming.
Yeah, a broad spectrum. When you look at the Paralympic Games, we're pretty blessed that we have a kind of a hand in a lot of different areas. So track and field, we're also the national governing body for the sport of bocce, which is a sport for adapted athletes that's contested at the Paralympic Games. Powerlifting, you mentioned swimming, track and field, just a very broad variety. So if you like it, we can figure out a way for you to do it.
Yeah, just letting the listeners know it's not limited to it. Like you just said, if you can do it, you guys can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been curious about this. So obviously we're talking about some of the top tier best athletes in the world. And anytime you go to Lakeshore Foundation, you will experience that and be kind of blown away. But so everyone's condition is not always equal and the same, right? So I've always wondered, like with Paralympic competitions, how does that work with the playing field when some people, are in different situations than others that they're competing against?
Yeah, so one of the most interesting and complicated parts of the Paralympic Games is the classification system, and it's really designed to create equity on the field of play. And so it starts at a sort of grassroots level and moves all the way through an international perspective. Athletes meet with a classification panel that assigns them a classification that helps them to compete against athletes that are in a similar classification. So when you look at a pool and you see people swimming, you will see kind of a similar level of disability.
Okay, thanks for that. Because honestly, I've always been very curious about that, and it's something I think a lot of times I would dance around talking about. But I knew that I could get a great answer from you guys. Well, this is going to be such a cool event, and again, we want everyone to head over to lakeshore.org now and get signed up, because a really, really cool event and a great way to experience a big part of the Olympics right here in Birmingham at our own Lakeshore Foundation. Jen and Chris, thank you guys so much, and we should have you guys on routinely to talk about all the great stuff going on up there, because again, we're such huge fans, and I know our listeners are as well.
Oh, we will be back for sure.
Looking forward to it.
Great. Thank y'all so much. Still more Morning Blend on the way. We have tickets to give away to Pedro the Lion tomorrow at Saturn. Stick around for that. Again, we mentioned the Morning Blend with Reg and Will 8th anniversary coming up at Workplay. The other artists, Graham Colton Band, who we just played, Elliot Morris and Yana Mila, also going to be performing that evening. Get your tickets now at workplay.com. We'll be giving away tickets we're giving away a flyaway package to see Pearl Jam in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Tickets, hotel, as well as transportation. So it's going to be a big night. We're fired up about it. Cannot wait to see everybody and to celebrate 8 years. Wow. Are you tired of me yet?
Oh,
you're tired of me after 8. You're tired of me after 8 days. Here's Elliot Morris, Infancy of Us on Birmingham Mountain Radio.